Greetings and salutations, my friends. This is obviously Light Liger here, and today, as did I promise earlier, I would be doing a guide on how to investigate crypto projects. And this will be broken down into two videos. On the first one, we're going to be looking into things that don't require any understanding of a coding or anything really. All you have to really know is English, I guess. And in the second video, we're going to be focusing more on on-chain stuff, like looking at smart contracts, what are essentially things that are red signals there, and more on the coding side of things. But in this first video, we're going to be just looking into how to investigate like websites and social media profiles. And the very first thing you have to do when you investigate a project is to archive the website. So not all projects have websites, obviously, and if they don't, that is already a bit of a red signal. So I would generally not invest in any project that doesn't have their own website, because it shows that there's a very low effort being made there, and it's likely to be a rug pull. So you're going to be entering the website in to the browse history, and if there's no prior information about the website, the Wayback Machine will tell you. But if there has been done previous actual archives of the website, you will be seeing them here on the profile. As you can see, when we started the investigations around 24th, there has been a couple of snapshots then, and on September, obviously many as well, because you want to have all of these archives because they're good evidence against the project, because they're not something you can essentially tamper with. So always, when you come to me with information and data, always archive everything regarding Twitter profiles, tweets, everything that would be important to the investigation and something that you would think might be altered or deleted later. And next up, obviously, is the website. So in case they have a website, there usually can be certain things like claims that these are certified. Usually on a lot of these sites where you deposit Bitcoin and you get like 5% daily. Obviously, these are hype scams, basically, and they usually just do the Ponzi, circulate a bit of the money and show that people are getting paid, and then they just, pull the rug afterwards. And usually they have like, oh, it's been mentioned in Cointelegraph, it's been mentioned on this and that publication on Forbes, and it's also been certified and verified by McAfee or some other virus thing. And you want to always look those sources and see and Google, are those actually real? Is there any evidence that there's a partnership between these two parties? Sometimes they all may suggest that there's a partnership between Project A and Project B also, like, oh, we got money from this capital and stuff like that. Next up is, what exactly should a good website have? So the first thing what I talk about a lot is, do not invest in anonymous teams. And what people don't understand is there's a difference between anonymous and a pseudonym. I'm not expecting every project to have their face out there and their name out there. But I mean, for example, me, I'm operating under a pseudonym, and you can find and track data based on my internet handle, Light Liger, and you can find a lot of things of websites that are registered and posted in the past, my Reddit accounts and stuff like that. And there is a data of history out there. So it's okay to invest in a project that has people under pseudonyms. But when people have names like, James, Tim, or stuff like that without faces, these can be usually fake. They're just going to be totally fucking fake. And usually that's a bit of a red signal, personally. So I prefer, projects that have a couple of the people transparent and a couple of them are under a pseudonym. So the anonymous team is like, why there would be just a random developer popping out of nowhere without no history whatsoever and nothing to really back on. So what exactly does a good website have? So first of all, obviously, what we just talked about is to have a page where you can see all the people who have their LinkedIn profiles. You can click them and see that this is actually a real person and is going into an actual profile. And also GitHub is very important. White paper and a roadmap. Sometimes white papers are copied, For example, Ultra has a 45-page white paper here. We can look at it very, very fast, but that's not, you don't need to have 45, but 20 is pretty good. And as you can see, the professionalism on this white paper, there's so much data, all the pictures are here, all these things, because the white paper also can sometimes have copy-pasted things and stuff like that. So it's important to have a professional white paper, in my opinion. And a lot of the times they don't have a white paper, maybe it's 3 pages or something like that, which is not good. GitHub, as I said, is something you want to have, because then you can look. When you go into an actual GitHub profile of a project, you can see people who have contributed there, and you can see and click that certain developer and see what they have done in the past to legitimize that this is a real person that has contributed and done developer worker in the past. Next up, we're going to be talking about a very easy thing, which is searching just the images. Look at the logo, look at all the pictures that are posted on the website, and then there are a couple of websites which allow you to reverse search them. So you copy image address, and you go to duplicchecker.com, and you can paste the logo here, and this will give you results on, is this certain image used somewhere else? And TinyEye is one that I've used a lot, but there are a lot of other efficient. This one uses 6 different ones. And you can click show matches, and it will go through all the websites that have used it in the past. So as you can see, the Falcon Swap logo, which by the way, as I've been saying, has been stolen. They know about it, and they still haven't changed it, by the way, even though they have all this venture capital money, allegedly. And basically, you can see when these logos have posted prior to the creation of the project, and it's been used by other companies and other, even a football club in, in Croatia, or is it in Czech Republic? Sorry. And basically, so look all the images and reverse search them. If there's like LinkedIn profiles which don't link into actual LinkedIn profiles, click the images and paste them in to the reverse image search, and you will be getting and seeing if there are those pictures used with a different name on them. Okay, there's a different name perhaps, or the logo has been used in another company or something like that. For example, the MYX logo was also used on another site. However, if there's text, make sure you crop the text with Paint if you're going to be saving it on your computer and then searching it, because the website that was using the MYX logo didn't obviously have that text, that different text. So sometimes the scammers take the logo and add some text next to it. So when you search the actual whole logo, this is probably not going to be coming out with any actual results because of that. But if you actually just search this one without the text, you're going to be getting some results. And these image searches are not the most accurate things ever, but sometimes they can find you pretty nice clues. Next up, we are going to be looking into, yes, so one of the things that you can also see from the actual website, it may not be in the actual visual eye, but there are things obviously underneath the website, and that is something you can see from the page source. So this is the page source for Pyro Network, which was part of that MYX scam. And what you're able to see, this is something that is really rare, and this is not something you're going to be seeing every time when you look at these things. And most of the people looking at, like, I don't know code, like, what is this? What you want to search for is certain key phrase, like, or maybe on the bottom there might be a certain words which might be, part of an old project or something like that. But usually you're probably not going to be finding anything here. But always look at the Google Tag Manager if this pops out. And this is the Google code for Google Analytics. And what you can do is you can reverse search the analytics ID on this website, dnslytics.com, and this will give you all the sites that are using it also. So there's another scam known as Cybercoin site, which happens to use the same Google Analytics profile, and there's no reason to do that if it was not owned by you. So basically, this is another scam, which was basically the same as MYX, same model, same style, everything. And as I said, this is something you will not usually find, but it always starts with UA. So just use Control F and just search UA and look all the results that pop out basically. But this is something, as I said, I keep saying millionth time, it's not something that pops out on every time on every website, but sometimes it does exist there. And then there is obviously the DNS profile. So the DNS is something where you basically voice somebody and basically find the, let's see, DNS voice. That's where you find it. And you can look up any domain. Let's say we're going to search an IP address or a domain. We're going to be putting the MYX network here once again. And this allows you to find perhaps the owner. Usually the owner is always private. That's always the case in crypto. But the thing that you can do, however, is basically see when it has been created. What are the name servers? Sometimes when it comes to Cloudflare, for example, they have multiple different name servers. So the chances of two crypto sites using the same specific name servers in Namecheap, for example, are pretty slim. So that's going to be, it's not going to be fact or truth, but it's going to be, you know, leading you to the actual thing. And then there's this validation thing that you can look in, which gives you more information. But most of the time, the tech contact and the contact for the site is private. But you can always kind of like look where it's been registered, when has it been registered. These are important information, for example. So that's something you want to look. There's the other page you can also look, which is View DNS. And you can look at people on like what we believe the JSON's identity is, JSON Biggs. And you can look, is there any domains registered under this name? And it will pop out certain domains here. Obviously, many people can have that same name, but you can find a lot of reverse information from viewdns.info. It's pretty good because you can also like look IPs. And this can, you know, create a connection between certain websites. So that is also very important. So what we just had on the other page, we have the IP address here somewhere. And we can look at those that IP address from here. No, actually, it's not here. Maybe I got mixed up here right now. But basically, there are IP addresses which you can always look. And they may lead you into other websites. There's other more like, you know, Chinese firewall tests, and these are like more tech savvy type of stuff, which I don't even look into usually. But most of the time, these are good tips which allow you to find things when people are on also social media profiles. So this is the last thing we're going to be looking. So new post on Crypto Moonshots about a project that has been shelled. And there's a lot of scams on this subreddit. Not always, but sometimes. And what you want to first look, obviously, is, well, who is this person who posted it? Then go into the actual subreddit. And in the subreddits, you can get a lot of information. And this is how we kind of caught Spider and aka Lightstar originally, is that you can see always, even if the person no longer moderator or around on the subreddit, you always will be able to see who created that specific subreddit. So Ripper2345 is the creator of this subreddit, but you also want to look at the moderators. Who are the moderators here? And for example, you go into this one and you're able to see, are they actually on other subreddits? And as you can see here, Ripper apparently is on multiple subreddits and other projects that seem DOGE, for example, and Mastercoin. So this person has created or been moderator of multiple projects. And if there's a lot of projects in a short span of a time, that is a very negative sign. Usually, I don't like the idea that guy is working on multiple projects at the same time. That just reeks out a scam to me. Then again, moderators can do that, but you kind of have to question that still, that is there a scam pattern here? Because scammers always, you know, move into a next one. They can replicate a new scam very, very easily. So look into Are these people who post these stuff? Where have they posted? What comments they have made in the past? And also, there's a lot of history in the Reddit because it cannot be actually deleted in a way. So there's always some type of a footprint. Twitter accounts, Facebook accounts, always try to go to the Wayback Machine through the archive and see what's been up there. Has the names been changed and etc. But that's pretty much the guide that I'm going to be showing you today. There's probably some other tips which I may have forgotten or I don't know about yet, but this should get you started on learning about more of the projects and their backgrounds. You just have to do a bit of a search or get somebody to help you to do that search on these things, and maybe you find out something. A lot of the things obviously only happen on chain, so they may track their things very good on the website side of things, but on chain they might do a lot of mistakes, or vice versa. Thanks for watching. If you want to support my investigative work, obviously, I'm accepting donations on Ethereum, Monero. I'm going to list a bunch of addresses down below for multiple blockchains since I know scams are happening on every chain, basically, mostly on Ethereum, obviously, with the token projects. But yes, obviously all the money is really appreciated because this is not, some people always make these claims that, oh, you're paid FUD. There's no fucking money in this. There's no people coming out and saying like, oh, you gotta do investigation on this and we're gonna pay you XYZ. I mean, there was one guy, but he was so sketchy and he wouldn't be willing to disclose the project name even before I accepted, so I just like say, fuck off. But yes, it doesn't really happen, okay? It's like this paid FUD thing, it's not existing, guys. It's like I'm doing out of evolution and cleaning the space. That's what it's all been about. Finding the goddamn truth. But thanks for watching. I will see you guys on the next video. Cheers.